All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the building. We're going to get this started. My name is Anthony DeLoatch, and I'm going to be your host today. And I'm excited about this Super Saturday call we got. Man, if you guys are still excited, let's keep those sevens coming in right now. Let's keep the sevens coming in. I'm super excited about everything that we have going on, the information that we have to share, the momentum that we're already experiencing as a company, as an organization, as a team. Man, this is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Guys, we are one of the few, right? I want to tell you guys about this. We're one of the few to be able to celebrate a 1 year anniversary. We're well past our 1 year now. We celebrated our 1 year anniversary in Washington, D.C. We had an incredible time. We had an incredible event. It was keynoted by none other than Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. And that just signifies the level of opportunity that we have. That just signifies the level of care that we have for our community, that we wanted to bring nothing less than the best in front of our people, guys. Look, man, I just want to make sure that you guys got the same big energy that I got right now. Let's see the ones. Let's see the ones. Let's see the ones. Let's see the ones in the chat now. Ones in the chat. Ones in the chat. Y'all probably say, Anthony, why are you coming with so much energy this morning? Because I understand what we have our hands on. Right? I understand the power of what's happening right now. I understand that when you're in the right place at the right time, you better not take it for granted. Here's what I'm saying. When you know you're in the right place at the right time, you better not take it for granted. I'm telling you, you better celebrate it. You better put your foot on the gas and accelerate. You better do everything that you can, right? This is what is happening right now, guys, and this is why I'm so excited. This is why I get so excited about what we have going on right here. So I want to once again welcome you all to our Super Saturday event. We decided to do this virtual event for everybody that may not have been able to make it to the 1 year anniversary, right? And plus, this is going to keep that momentum going. We never want to stop. As the song I was playing right before this started, it said, "Don't look down." Uh-oh, somebody's look, don't look down because you're not going that way. Don't look down. We've already gotten too high to look down now, right? I'm telling you right now, we got some incredible stuff going on, man. I'm excited to have this whole lineup of people that we have right now on the call, which is absolutely amazing. The people that we're going to have speaking today have some information that they want to share with you guys, right? This is incredible, incredible, incredible. Now, I don't want to waste any time. It's 2:11, and we had a lot of energy to get started. And so I just wanted to welcome you guys here. Now, I do want to go over a important agenda that we have here. Here's the Super Saturday, right? We're going to open with that energy and we're going to celebrate always with everything that we do, right? And I just did a little recap of that 1 year anniversary summit. So I got all of that, right? Now I want to announce right now that we have our Las Vegas event that's coming up at the Venetian Hotel. Hold on, wait a minute. We got our Las Vegas event that's coming up at the Venetian Hotel. If you know how we do it, excellence is our standard. Hold on. I hope y'all get it and understand excellence is our standard. It's not something that we occasionally do. It's what we do every day, all day with everything that we do. Excellence is our standard. So when we go to the Venetian Hotel, I hope you guys understand that we're not coming for an average event. None of our events are average. We're allergic to average, as a matter of fact. Everything we do is we do it with excellence. So when you come, and this is going to be special, this is the first event that we're going to do that's going to be from 11 to 5. It's not from 11 to 3 like our regular events. It's 11 to 5. We're going to make sure that you get all the information that you need, that you get the help that you need. And we're also celebrating because we got some birthday guys in the house. Myself, Brandon Ivy, and several of our other senior agents have birthdays in July, and we are planning some stuff to make sure we make that extra special as well. Man, so be in Las Vegas. My wife just dropped the link in there to get your tickets for Las Vegas. It is a ticketed event, so make sure that you guys get your tickets. If you can stay at the Venetian, stay at the Venetian. I love to stay at the Venetian. That's where we go, and that's where we stay when we go to Las Vegas. It's absolutely phenomenal, right? So look, I see some July babies dropping there. July babies in the chat. All the July babies, right? Y'all drop it in the chat so we can represent for you all as well. That's going to be absolutely amazing, right? Now, look, let's talk about this, right? I want to introduce the speakers and I want to make sure I give them some time to work. We're going to let them work today, right? We're going to give them some time to actually do their thing today. We're not going to we're not telling them to hold back. We're telling them to come. We're not gatekeepers over here. I heard somebody say, "Hey, Anthony, I thought you was a gatekeeper." I said, they must not know me, right? We're not gatekeepers over here. I want y'all to get that. We give it all, and we're going to give everything that we can to today for you guys, so you guys can have that. All right. So I'm gonna bring up my guy because see, look, it's been a long time since I heard this gentleman teach, and I just want to jump right into it. He hasn't taught something in a long time, and we was in Washington D.C. and he didn't teach anything, and I thought it was almost a sin. I was like, this got to be somewhere in the Bible that this is a sin, that this gentleman doesn't come on and bless us with some type of financial education, right? And I'm telling you today, when he hit me back, he said, Anthony, I just want you to know that we're going to talk about the law of circulation. I said, I got a pen and a pad. Y'all think I'm playing, right? Y'all think I'm playing. I got the green pad because we're going to be talking about money. And I'm ready. I'm about to take some notes. I'm about to take some notes because I know he's about to break it down like nobody else can. But you guys already know who exactly I'm talking about, right? I want to tell you about. I got to get past all that. I want to tell you about this gentleman right here. He's a strategic partner with eEstate. He's an excellent speaker. He's a phenomenal author, right? He authored a book that is Breaking the Strongholds. And if you haven't gotten that book, that's the first part of a trilogy. Wait a minute. He gave you a Bible as the first part of the trilogy. What? If you seen it, have y'all seen his book? If you seen Breaking the Strongholds, if you seen that book, I want y'all to drop some twos in the chat for me. Drop some twos. If you seen Daryl Porter's book, there you go. He's going to show you the book. Breaking the Strongholds. And if you guys haven't, go to Amazon, run to Amazon. Don't walk, run to Amazon and make sure you get a copy of Breaking the Stronghold. But I want you to understand that's the first part of it. What? My wife is dropping links in there. Make sure you guys get this. That's the first part of the trilogy. He said there's two more books coming out after that. So, guys, look, we're getting some information. He's talking about the law of circulation today. A very impactful speaker right here. Everybody gets something from what he talks about anytime he opens his mouth. So I'm glad to have him on the call today. And I am going to go ahead and turn it over to this brother because I want to let him work. We're going to let you cook today, brother. Mr. Daryl Porter, if you are on and you're ready to go, let's go ahead and bring you on. Let's go ahead and do it.
Ant-Man, what is going on? Can you
Hey,
hear me?
my brother. I'm excited.
Me too, man. Hey, I feel like I had a muzzle on, man. I'm like, man, what is going on? But they done let the muzzle off, so y'all already know it. Y'all about to get the sauce today. So
Let's go.
I'm overly excited, man. As always, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. More than you know, man. I like to call him Batman and I'm Robin. You know, we the dynamic duo. You know, when we hit the road and we hit these cities, man, we like to bring the sauce, guys. And you know, we're both big on education, so that's why I love working with this man because we both love educating, and that's what I'm about, man. I'm a Kingdom Wealth coach. A lot of you guys know that when I teach, I bring biblical principles to this platform. So I'm thankful to the owners of the company for allowing me to be me because this is what I do. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually at a men's retreat this weekend, and I broke away so I can fulfill my responsibilities here, so that I can come and do what I always do. So what I'm getting ready to teach you guys right now, I just taught in a room full of men at 10 o'clock this morning, and I've been up since 4. So I'm wired and fired up as well. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about the law of circulation. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at some notes that I scribbled on, just so I can make sure I get you everything that I taught these guys this morning. And it's called the law of circulation. And this is a 3,000-year-old principle, family, that was taught over 3,000 years ago by the wisest and wealthiest man in the world. And any of you who know scripture know who I'm talking about. And I'm talking about King Solomon. All right. This was taught over 3,000 years ago. And guess what? It's still effective today if you know how to work this law of circulation. So, with that being said, guys, I want to share a scripture. Now, listen, this is not a church service. This ain't no religious thing. This is what I do. I teach from the Bible. You know, you don't have to live a saved life to follow these principles. And guess what? There's a lot of people who in the world who live by these principles, and I believe these principles in this book work. They've been working for me all my life. So, with that, there's a scripture in the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 24, and it reads like this. It says, one person gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Okay, comes to poverty. When you think about that scripture, all right, mathematically, it really doesn't make sense. If I am giving freely, how am I gaining? If I'm giving freely, how am I gaining? And the second part of that is if I'm withholding, which means I'm holding on to it, how am I losing? So right there, it tells you that this is not talking about a principle of charity. This is not what this verse is teaching us. It's not a charitable verse. Now, there are plenty of scriptures in the Bible that deals with charity and giving. This is not one of those. Okay? So, with that being said, there was something else being taught here. And we're being taught by the wealthiest man in the world. If you want to learn how to walk in wealth and learn how to work principles of wealth, this is the right person to learn from. So, with that being said, there is a word, the word give freely. The Hebrew word for the word give freely is the word pazar. It's Pazar, and it doesn't mean give freely. That's why you gotta be very careful. If you're a scripture reader, you have to be very careful with the English words that have been translated from the original language of the Bible. You got to be very careful because our English words sometimes can water down words, and that's exactly what happened here. When you hear give freely, you may be thinking about giving to charity. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I first read this scripture. But that's not what this scripture is teaching. So the word pazar literally means to scatter seed. It means to scatter seed. That's what the Hebrew word pazar means. So we're going to replace that word with that word in this scripture in a few minutes. The second part of that says to withhold unduly. To withhold unduly. So when you withhold unduly, the Hebrew word for withholding unduly is the word chasak, and it is spelled Chasak. And that word doesn't mean, it literally means to restrain or to hold back. To restrain or to hold back. So in other words, if you're restraining and you're holding back, it's the word that we would call hoarding. You're a hoarder. If you're restraining and you're holding back, you're considered to be a hoarder. Okay, so think about that. So we're going to put that in its right perspective. Okay, so the scripture should read like this. One person scatters seed and gains even more, and another hoards and comes to poverty. Think about that for a second, guys. If you are scattering seed, when a farmer scatters seed, they're expecting some things to come back. Scattering seed in financial terms mean that you are deploying your money. You're deploying your money. That's what it means to scatter seed from a financial standpoint. And according to this scripture, if you are deploying your money and you're scattering your seed, guys, that means, according to what this scripture says, I'm going to gain more. So when you think about that and you understand the parable of the talents, when they went out and scattered their seed, two of them doubled because they scattered their seed. It's called the principle or law of circulation, guys. Solomon taught this over 3,000 years ago, and it's still effective today. It is still an effective strategy today. So when you're deploying your capital, when you deploy your capital, you're going to gain more. So here's what most of us have been taught. We've been taught to save, build you an emergency fund. This is the language that the world teaches us today. But guess what you're doing? You're hoarding. In my book, I talk about this. You may think you're doing the right thing because you're able to pay all your bills. You got all this money in the bank, and you may think you're doing the right thing, but you're a hoarder. You're not following the law that's being taught in this scripture. Case in point, most people who hoard and you're losing and you're losing and you're moving into poverty, where do most people hold their money? In the bank, because that's what we're taught to do. We're taught to hold our money in the bank. It makes no sense, guys. If in between the year 2020 and 2024, inflation was running at about 5% a year. So if you had $10,000 sitting in your bank account, all right, in between that time, you're losing 5% on that money every year. So you fast forward 10 years. In 10 years, that $10,000 would only be worth over $6,000 in purchasing power. Think about that. The same 10,000 is in there. You're doing what you're taught to do, but you're losing. You're not winning. You're losing. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm doing exactly what I was taught to do. I put the money in the bank. I'm holding it there. But you're hoarding. Now you understand what this scripture is saying. Solomon was a great businessman. And he doesn't just teach you this. This is what he done. When you read through the book of Kings, you hear about all these different transactions and contracts that Solomon built with other kings around the country. They were trading. He had ships in the ocean, in the seas, everywhere, trading different ways. So now when you read Ecclesiastes 11:1 and 2, when it says to cast your bread upon the waters, he was talking about ships. What floats on water? Ships. This is what he was teaching in the Hebrew in Ecclesiastes 11, chapter 1 and verse 2. Cast your bread upon the water. And in many days it will return to you what? 7 or 8 different ways. This is what he taught. Money's in circulation. And according to this scripture, when your money's in circulation, when you deploy your money, you're going to gain more. That's why in the parable of the talents, when the one who gave 5 went immediately and put his money to work, he understood the law of circulation. He understood the law of circulation, family. So if you fast forward again back to that scenario of your money sitting in the bank for 10 years, you go another 10 years, that's 20 years. So in 20 years, now your purchasing power has dropped down to over $3,000. Now you lost over 62% of the value of the 10,000 that you held in the bank. Guess what? You still got the same 10,000. You're following what was been taught. We're doing exactly what we've been taught to do. But it's not working. You know why? Because it's going against this law of circulation. This is why what we do, guys, is very important. Because we're living out this scripture. Whether people realize this is what they're doing or not, you're living out this scripture when you put your money to work. You're operating in the law of circulation. This is very eye-opening, guys. It was eye-opening for me when I studied this and learned this. The law of circulation. So we know now that we shouldn't hold money in the bank. This is the worst place you can put your money. In the parable of the talents, the one who had one, the king told him, the least you could have done was put my money in the bank. That's not what he wanted him to do. But you know what he was trying to avoid from him doing? Burying his money, hoarding his money in the ground. Don't hoard it. Do something with it. That's why he said the least you could have done was put it in the bank. That's the least you could have done. That's not what he wanted him to do, but that's the least that he could have done, guys. Here's the thing about this principle. This principle, again, was taught over 3,000 years ago, guys. 3,000 years ago. There was a gentleman by the name of, he was an economist by the name of John Maynard Keynes. Back in 1936, John Maynard Keynes published a book called The General Theory of Employment. The General Theory of Employment. He introduced a concept called, check this out, guys. He introduced a concept called the velocity of money. Do you know that concept has made its way back to our language? The last few years, you've been hearing people talk about this velocity banking. Have you heard that in the last few years? He talked about this back in 1936. Whether he realized it or not, what he was teaching was a principle that was taught 3,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago, guys, he was teaching a principle that was taught over 3,000 years ago. In this principle, the concept of the velocity of money is the rate of which money circulates in the economy. I don't have time to get deep into that, but Mr. Keys, again, probably didn't know what he was teaching, but he was teaching the principle that was taught over 3,000 years ago. And it's still effective today. Guess what the Jews live by? The Jews live by the same concept. If you know anything about a Jewish community, guys, money doesn't leave a Jewish community until it's passed through their community maybe hundreds of times before it goes outside their community. They're circulating that money. Think about this. 2% of the population in the United States are Jews. I'm going to say that again, guys. 2% of the population in the United States are Jews. Guess what? 35% of the billionaires in the United States are, guess what? They're Jews. You know why? Because they follow this concept right here, the principle of circulation. The principle of circulation. Guys, that's what we're doing today. All of you on this call right now, you should be proud of yourself. You should be honored. And if you didn't know you was living out this principle, now you know. You're living out the same principle that was taught over 3,000 years ago by the wealthiest man in the world. And that's why, because you're doing and you're circulating your money, you're deploying your money, you're circulating your money, because you're doing that, guys, this principle has to come to pass in your life. You're going to gain more because you're not hoarding. And we're teaching others not to hoard. That is so important that we understand that, guys. So important that we understand that. So I hope you guys got something out of that. All right. I hope you got something out of that. Just short teaching on the principle of circulation, guys. This is a principle that is still in effect today. The Bible is right. These principles will never go away as long as you live by these principles. So everything I just said, guys, when we're teaching people about hoarding, the bank is the worst place you can put your money because now you're going against this scripture and you have no choice but to fall into poverty because you're holding and you're hoarding, first of all, the wrong thing, and you're not doing anything with it. You're not doing anything with it, guys. It's the power of circulation. All right. All right, Ant, that's all I got, man. Hopefully, I blessed y'all with that little bit that I gave you guys. Again, if you're going to be in Las Vegas, guys, you're going to get more of this because I got a whole teaching on it. I got like 33 slides dealing with what I just talked to you guys about in a very short span. All right, I know we got more speakers, so I don't want to take up all the time. And I appreciate the time, brother. Thank you, man. God bless you guys. All right, now I'm going to take me some notes now.
Man, that's absolutely incredible. You rocked it as usual. Nothing less than what I expected. This was absolutely phenomenal. And look, guys, I hope you see that we are an education first company and we want you to be better mentally. We want you to be better physically. We want you to be better financially. Every aspect of your life we want to see improved. This y'all came because y'all thought this was just about real estate, right? But this is about real life. I hope somebody gets it. This is not just about real estate. This is about real life. And this is what we're going to do consistently to make sure that you guys are in position to participate in the best things of life, in the abundance of life, right? So that's what we're talking about today. Let's drop some sevens in the chat for Daryl because he absolutely rocked it today as usual, even though we already knew that's what he was going to do, right? Absolutely incredible. So I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited about each and every one of you being blessed with that information there, right? All right. So we had Mr. Daryl Porter who came and rocked the house, right? Now, look, I want you guys to know that, like if you want to get the full thing, come to Las Vegas. It's better in person. If y'all think it was good virtually, it's better in person. Y'all want to get the raw, real deal when we could get the uncut, I was going to say something, but I was like, we on the corporate call, so I'm gonna be good today. All right, let's do this. I had Daryl spotlighted, so I'm gonna have to move Daryl off the spotlight, but we're gonna move into another incredible speaker today, right? Let me actually do this. For right now, will replace me for the spotlight. All right, so this is going to be incredible. We have another incredible speaker that's going to come up, right? And we got a lot of speakers in store for you, right? Because this is going to be amazing. You just heard from strategic partner Daryl Porter, who absolutely rocked this, right? Which is amazing, right? So that is absolutely incredible. But now we have another speaker, right? That's going to be coming up. That's going to rock this as well. Now, some of you all are going to recognize her voice before you recognize her, right? And this is going to be absolutely phenomenal because some of you all know her as the Queen Connectress. She is a senior agent with eEstate, right? She's a senior agent with eEstate. She's the right hand to one of our strategic partners, Brandon Ivy with ILCA. She is a published author, right? Do y'all see the type of people that we have here that are presenting to you all today, right? She's a published author, and I don't want to get the title wrong, but I think it's Homeless to Unstoppable, right? And absolutely incredible. That is a book of work there that she has that you can actually get. So make sure you guys go and get that book as well. Go run to Amazon. Don't walk. Run to Amazon to make sure that you actually get that information. But you guys know that I am presenting to you none other than Miss Marnita Casa, senior agent, and she's going to be a speaker for today. And she's going to talk about her genuine process of creating momentum as an e-estate agent and whatever she decides that she wants to share with you all today. So I want you guys to welcome to the stage Miss Marnita Casa. Let's go. Let's drop some sevens in the chat for Miss Casa right now. You know you're gonna know that voice.
Hey, I'm ready. Okay, let me just tell you guys. Mr. DeLoatch hit me over the head. First of all, excuse me, where did you find this picture?
I said I had to find the one with the shades on.
You
had
are
to be
so
cool.
funny. And then how dare you put me after Mr. Daryl Porter just set the stage on fire. My goodness. So before I get started, as you guys can see, I am in high spirits. I'm so super excited and honored to be here with you guys. But first, I want to say this to Mr. Anthony DeLoatch and Mrs. Sharita DeLoatch. Thank you guys so very much as a mother and somebody who is raising a family and somebody who is running a business. This is not easy. And the fact that you guys show up every day, every night for everyone, I want to salute you and tell you thank you so much. Your effort and your energy is appreciated, and we see you. Hello. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to jump into this because we have a lot of wonderful speakers coming on and I don't want to take too much time. So first of all, for those of you that don't know me, man, we have about 150 people on the call. That has me excited. You guys are absolutely in the right place at the right time. So for those of you that don't know me, hold on, my son is back there. There we go. As I said, we're raising big family here. But for those of you that do not know me, my name is Miss Marnita Casa. I like to call myself your Queen Connectress. Why? Because it is my purpose to introduce people like you to their future through digital finance, education, and online opportunities. Now, I am somebody who has survived a lot, okay? I am somebody who has survived addiction. I have survived homelessness. I have survived self-destruction, okay? But my story doesn't start with those issues. My story started the day that I decided that I would not be a survivor anymore, that now I'm going to become a thriver. And once I made that decision, that's when my life truly started. Now, for me, as soon as I made that decision, I received a mentor, which is my cousin, Mr. Brandon Ivy. And he came into my life with personal development and something that actually saved me and my family, and that I am using today to save a lot of other people and a lot of other families. Okay. And so I'm so very grateful for that. And so here I am now. Hello, representing eEstate, spreading the word out there changing people's lives while changing my own. And so I hear a lot of people want to do the same thing. Let's go. So I'm going to give you guys a few tips before I get out of here. I have about 7 of them. So I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible, but I hope they help in your journey into entrepreneurship, in your journey into personal development, and into your journey, right, into changing your life into something that you always wanted it to be. Hello. Okay, first thing on the list, and I'm like Mr. Porter, I got my notes here to keep me on track because I can talk about this for hours. Now, first things first, I have a little saying. First, you make a decision, you create a plan, and then you take action. And I don't care how many times you have to make a decision. Baby, I've made the decision hundreds of times, created new plans, started new journeys. But the point is that you don't stop. That's where you keep going. So continuously, when you see yourself slipping, when you're like, you know what, I need to change. First thing you do, you know what, I decide I don't want this anymore. Second thing you do, you create a plan. This is how I'm going to change my life. But then the most important part, you take action. And once you start doing that, you will see things changing in your life. Second one, master your story. Now, let me tell you guys something. You're going to hear a lot of the things that you will learn through Mr. Brandon Ivy come out of my mouth. That man has been my mentor for 6 years, and literally he has taught me 80% of what I know now. The other 20% was hitting myself over the head and then realizing, hey, that doesn't work. Let me do something different, right? So number 2, master your story. Now, it's not just about mastering how to tell your story. It's about mastering being okay with your story. All right. That was one of the first things I had to go through to become who I am now, to be able to attract other people. Because the truth of the matter is that you attract who you are. And that's the end of it. Okay. So you must get into your story. And let me tell you guys what I did. There were many nights where I stood in the mirror and said my story. This is what happened to me. Then I went to the next level. I started recording myself, telling my story, and talk about a healing process. I cried. I got mad again. There were happy points. But you know what I did? I became okay with that. See, one thing that a lot of people don't understand is that people don't really buy your product. People buy you, who you are, how you make them feel. If you make them feel like getting up and doing something positive, they're going to follow you forever. So once you learn how to master your story, master who you are, be okay with it, then you share it. You get on lives and you talk about what you've been through. You go on YouTube and you tell people the hardships that you've been through. How did you get past them? How did you get out of it? And the next thing you know, you got more people saying, well, talk to me. I've been there too. How did you do that? So that's how I found I was creating a community, is that I started going out and sharing my story, but only after I had been okay with everything in that story. That's where personal development came in. And I will tell you right now, one thing that Mr. Brandon Ivy says is that education is key. Education is everything. That's not just about knowledge. That is also about healing yourself, going into personal development, reading those books, and then taking action on the information that you got. 3, find a mentor. Oh, man. You find somebody who has done what you want to do, okay? And you watch who you're listening to. If you find somebody that's either doing what you want to do or has already accomplished what you want to do, research them. Learn about them, follow them, okay? You go into their past, you learn their story, and then you see if that resonates with you. Once you find somebody that resonates with you, you go into study mode. Let me tell you something. Brandon's my cousin, but we were estranged. I hadn't seen him since I was a child. But you know what I did? You know why he became my mentor? Because I didn't leave him alone. I saw what he was doing. I felt his passion. I knew that what he was educating people on was the answer, was the solution that we were looking for. So I emailed that boy. I called him up. Give me what you got. Oh, okay, Marnie, I don't care. Do you have a task? Give me, what do you need me to do, man? Okay, give me 2 hours of your time once a week. That's how it started. Once a week, Brandon, let me call you and I'm going to tell you my ideas. I'm going to tell you what I learned. And then you let me know if I want. That's how it started. Find you a mentor and don't stop. You need to surround yourself with people of a like mind. That is necessary. Nobody can do it alone. You need a support system. 4, set yourself on fire and trust. They will come to watch you burn. What does that mean? That means go out there, show yourself. Let me tell you something. I see some powerhouses on Facebook right now. One of them, Faye Hughes. This woman puts out 3 videos a day, okay? And she's talking about e-estate. She's talking about her life. She's giving up good information. She's giving out affirmations. Melanie Davis, killing AI. She is out there daily, at least 2 videos a day. Reginald, out there putting up posts. James R. Davis, killing it daily, okay? Set yourself on fire and people will come to find out, baby. That's what I do. Hello. That is one of the best things. And also put your journey out there. I don't care if you're losing weight, especially if you're losing weight. I decided I've lost 50 pounds since I decided to get on this journey into transforming my life. Okay. And you know what I did? I went on YouTube and every day with my big old belly hanging out, I worked out and I told them, come and work out with me. This is my story. I need to lose weight because I don't want to die. And so people started coming in because there were people who felt me. You tell people, hey, I'm with e-estate because I'm tired of working a 9 to 5. I'm tired of giving up all my time to an employer. And people who feel the same way will come to watch you burn. Hello. 5, don't get distracted. What? Mr. C.Y. Tonga said this in Washington. He said, I keep focused. Don't get distracted, babies, because you must always remember a thief does not try to rob an empty house. Hello. And when you are trying to improve yourself, that's when the distractions come. Stay focused. 6, the 4 rules of ILCA. I'm almost done, babies. I'm almost done. The 4 rules of ILCA. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Hello. And so is personal development. Get your mind right. If you don't have your mind right, you will not be able to succeed. Hello. 2, never use money you cannot afford to lose. That should be a given. 3, get your return as soon as possible. Don't get played. 4, find yourself a vehicle. Take action and don't get distracted. And the last thing, find something that you're passionate about. Don't come talking to me about something you're trying to make money with. Talk to me about something that has changed your life. Talk to me about something that you can't do without right now. Me personally, I love e-estate. In the last 7 months, my husband has been able to leave his job, baby. I'm traveling. I'm taking my kids out. That's because of e-estate and what it provides. So I'm passionate about it. So people look at me and they say, I want to be like you, baby. What's up? That's how you keep the momentum going. Share your story, be passionate, and don't get distracted. All right. I love you guys. Let's get it. We're here building empires. And if you guys need me for anything, marnitacosta@gmail.com. Hello. Back to you, Mr. Anthony.
All right, absolutely amazing. Did she rock it, guys? Let's drop some 7s in the chat for Miss Marnita Acosta. Didn't I tell you she was going to bring the heat? I told you she was going to bring the heat, and that's exactly what she did, and it's absolutely phenomenal. I hope you guys are getting the theme. I told you, if y'all thought this was just about e-estate and real estate, it's not just about this. This is about real life. We want you to live better lives. That's why we bring the speakers that we bring. Do you guys understand that we have some powerhouse people over here? This is the greatest group of people that I've seen to come together for one project. This is absolutely amazing. If you guys are not in ILCA and getting that 100% absolutely phenomenal education, right? And it's more. I want you guys to understand. Every wife I hear every day, my wife is the one that jumps on the crypto talks. And Brandon Ivy breaks it down. And he talks about what's going on in our markets, what's going on in the world, and everything. So I want to tell you guys, make sure that you get involved, but get your membership with ILCA, which is a special for estate people. If you're in estate, you get the special and everything. So it's absolutely phenomenal, man. But I see you guys dropped all the sevens in there for Marnita Casa. Let me do a brief intermission and tell you guys this, right? One of the things that I said from the beginning, I said when the women get a hold of this. I said, when the women get a hold of this, it's about to go crazy. I was just sitting and waiting. I said, when the women get it, man, I told Daryl, I told Rashid, I told Brandon Stevenson either. I said, when the women get this, we're going to be able to sit back and relax because the women are going to take this thing through the roof. And that's exactly what we see happening right now. If you're already witnessing that, if you just like me, you say, look, I'm witnessing the women are taking over right now. Drop some twos in the chat. Drop some twos in the chat. If you already know it, say the women are doing it, right? And I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it. Man, do you know Marnita Casa is an agent level 7? Wait a minute. Agent level 7. My wife is an agent level 6. We got so many powerhouse. Deanna just was like, hey, I'm an agent level 7. So many people that are accelerating right now and making this thing is out. Look, Daryl Porter said, my wife is an agent level 5. The women had caught on. Guys, in a little bit, we're going to be able to sit back and chill. The women going to take over and take the reins, right? So that's what I'm excited about. But in that same theme, hold on. We're in the same theme, right? So since we're in the same theme, right? I want you guys to understand we're going to bring another powerhouse woman. Why not stop? Why stop now, right? Why are we going to stop now? We could bring another powerhouse woman to the call today that I'm excited about. And look, I don't take any credit from what she's done. She built this all on her own. But what I will take credit for is that when she was first starting, when she was like age level 2 or 3, I reached out to Daryl. I told my wife, I said, you need to go watch her. I told them to go follow. Well, Daryl was already there, but I told my wife, I said, go follow her because I see what she's doing already. This is about to go crazy, right? And she's about to do some incredible things. She's done even more than I ever thought that it would go. She's gone faster than I've seen anybody go, and she's setting the pace. She's our top level agent in estate. She's the highest leveled agent in estate. And I reached out to her. I said, hey, look, we got to have you on the call. We can't have a super Saturday without this superstar, right? So let's go ahead, right? Y'all already know who I'm bringing to the stage right now, but I want to welcome to the stage right now, Miss Chelsea Lears. Are you on and are you ready, Chelsea?
I am ready.
Incredible, incredible. Well, I'm glad that you accepted being on there. I know I told you to talk about social media dominance and everything, but whatever you have on your heart that will be beneficial to the people, I want you to just go ahead and rock out like you always do. And I'm about to take my notes, so I'm gonna shut up and let you go. I'm gonna let you cook. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. Well, I do have to give you a little bit of credit too, because when I started watching the Zooms, I was like, I was almost there, right? And I said, oh, this is my goal. I want to be this level by, I think it was like Christmas or something, the end of the year. And you said, I think you could do that by the end of the week. And at that moment, I thought to myself, I was like, okay, if other people can succeed and do things like this, I can too. So most of us on here have been in sales or MLMs, network marketing, or something at some point in our life, right? And you see other people and they're doing really good. Sometimes it's because they got in at the very beginning. But if you're thinking to yourself, well, why can't I do that? It's usually because you're holding yourself back. So at that moment, I made the decision to not hold myself back anymore. I was like, I'm going to keep doing it. So my first suggestion to you guys would be to set a realistic goal, something that also helps with the algorithm, and make sure you stick to it. There will be days when you wake up and you're like, oh, I've been doing the same thing for weeks and I don't feel like I'm getting enough attention. Do it anyways. There's going to be days when maybe you don't feel very good. You know what? Lay in bed, midday, make a video anyways. I'm a fan of AI, but I also feel like it's being massively overused. One of the biggest feedbacks that I've received from so many people is They're not going to a funnel. They're not getting an automated message. And I'm like, hey, here's my phone number. We can connect directly. Give me a call anytime we can get on a Zoom. So creating, that personable connection. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through what I do when I'm making videos. A couple tips, a couple things that I wish I would have done differently that would have helped a lot. So my first suggestion is make a goal, put together a outline of a strategy. Your strategy is going to change as you develop new skills, but set a realistic goal that's going to work with the algorithm. 1, 2, 3 videos a day. Do not go under that goal. Get up and do it. Even if you don't know what to say, go to ChatGPT, ask them for an idea. Again, it's okay to use AI, especially for assisting with ideas. And you can use AI for anything you want to. I'm just not a huge fan of it because it doesn't create you realistically. It's more, AI is just kind of crazy. So I want you to focus on educational content, projects that are happening in the world right now that are hard to get into. This was my strategy for the first 4 to 5 months. There's so many projects out there. Everyone's talking about tokenization, but in reality, the majority of people can't participate in it. So find that information, share that information to educate people about it, but then also let them know we have that here. This is something that you can do today. This is not locked behind a door. This is something that's available for you. This is what I've done, right? When people or when you're making your videos, if I'm scrolling TikTok and there's a blank space, if somebody is sitting there thinking it takes too long, I scroll away. When I'm making my videos, I go in and I trim out the blank space. If I say, if I stop for 2 seconds, I trim it out to keep things moving. People, they lose attention pretty damn quick when the videos start to slow down. So when you're making that content, make it educational, tie it back to what we have here, trim out all of the blank space. They're not going to sit there and watch you breathe. Your first point of contact, when somebody comments, when somebody messages you, whatever it may be, the first point of contact, if you can, send them a voice message. I always send it with a little bit of curiosity. I'm like, hey, I just saw your comment. Would it be okay? Would you be willing to send me your phone number or your email address? I'll send you a 15-minute overview and my contact information, plus the website that I use. And I'm happy to, hop on a phone call with you after you're done. When you have a video, sorry, I'm starting to get a cold. When you have a video go semi-viral, doing well, whatever it may be, there is an app that I use. It's called WordBoard. I use the free version, okay? What you can do in there is, it's on this phone. I wonder if I'll actually be able to show you guys or if you'll be able to see. So WordBoard, it puts this little icon in the corner of your screen, and when you click on it, it goes to, I only use the free version, so I have one, new email. You click that button, your whole message is there with your links, your phone number, everything. So you can send that out to the masses much easier. So voice message, give yourself a shortcut. You don't want to be in a position like I was when my first video went, semi-viral. I had 500 people to message to, and I'm going back and forth trying to copy and paste the message, copy and paste the email, copy and paste the subject over and over and over again. This cuts out a lot of space. A couple things I wish I would have done was save the emails and set up a service, especially when we have like promotions and stuff, being able to message everyone at once in a non-salesy way that this is happening. It's good. The name of the app is WordBoard. I can pull it up and show you. It's WordBoard. Okay, it looks like this just little keyboard with the W over it. Okay, so first point of contact, voice. Get WordBoard. It's going to help you. Save the emails if you can, so you are able to follow up with everybody, or save the phone numbers if that's how they sent it to you. Something else I wish I would have done was a CRM system. I did at one point, just from the notes of my phone, take some time, look through the different CRM systems. When you get to a point where you're having several calls a day or several Zooms a day, People are going to tell you a part of their life. They're going to tell you something that they feel you need to know, why they're interested in this, what they're wanting to get from it. You want to track that down. I can't tell you how many times I got on a phone call with someone and they're telling me, updates, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't remember. I'm so sorry. It's important to remember key details. When somebody gives you information on their life, they're trusting you in that moment. So find a way to remember that, especially when things start to get crazy. I know that sounds bad, but when I was doing, 20 Zooms, 20 phone calls a day, it was extremely difficult for me to remember all of that. Now I did share at the DC event that I don't follow up with people. That is something that I wish I would have started implementing. I would recommend jotting down the TikTok name, the email, whatever it may be, and following up 24 hours later. Hey, what did you think with the video? That is going to, I think it will boost engagement and connections there. It's just something that I didn't have time for. I am going to start implementing it. When you do send that email, and actually this is my email, putting it in the comments right now. When you send that, make sure you put in there and change this, please. Don't copy and paste it. We don't want to send the same email to people, but this is what I've been sending. Make sure you just specify in there, this is my phone number, or email is best, text is best. I'm willing to connect with you directly. Again, that was the biggest feedback that I've gotten was, I just can't believe that you're calling me right now. I can't believe that you're actually taking the time to have a Zoom with me. I have several clients that call me almost every single day. We chat for 10 minutes just because they want to share their life. And you know what? Some of them are some of my biggest clients. You never know. Most people with money, by the way, too, don't let you know that they have money. I've had several people come in with a few $100s, a couple months later, call me and say, I want to put together a strategy. I have 100 grand. And I'm like, whoa, had no idea. Building connections, being repetitive, making sure that you are connecting with people on a personal level. And again, put together an outline of a strategy. It's going to change as you develop new skills, as you learn new apps, as you figure out what works for you. But set a goal, make it intentional, make sure it's good with the algorithm, and then put together an outline of a strategy. When it comes to transferring money, I will tell you briefly, because I know we need to move on. I use Coinbase. I recommend everybody pay the $30 a month for the membership so they have unlimited sending. If they're doing anything over a couple $1,000s, I walk them step by step through wiring it. Once the wire is cleared, we get back on the phone or a Zoom. We send it to Trust Wallet. That way, when Coinbase says, where are you sending this money to? You could say, I'm sending it to myself. What are you doing with this money? I'm saving it in my portfolio. Coinbase will freeze and lock and flag any large number. Send it to a decentralized wallet, then send it into eEstate, and take some time to get familiar with it. Even if you're just transferring $5 yourself several times until you feel confident with that, practice it, because you're going to need to walk a lot of people through these transfer steps, step by step by step. And you want to make sure that you're not flagging anything, because that just causes even more of a headache. I feel like I could go off on like a whole bunch of other things, but if there is any more questions at all, you guys are welcome to reach out to me too. I will end it there.
Hey, feel free to keep going. I think people are getting it from it, man. If you got anything else that you want to drop, feel free to go ahead and do that. If you guys have questions, let us know the questions that you have. She just dropped a lot of gems right there for you guys. I hope you guys have copied that, screenshotted it, whatever you needed to do to make sure you got that information. Who has a question in there?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer
They're
questions.
saying keep going. They're saying keep going, Chelsea. If you got
Keep
anything
going.
else.
Okay, well, let's talk about the social media thing then. I'm not sure if it's on Android. I know that it is on Apple, answering the question. Let's talk about the social media thing then. I only edit videos in TikTok. I have not learned or even practiced using different apps yet, okay? Something that I lacked and I'm starting to do now, and I think it's important, is having social media on at least the top 4 platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. When you post on one, just copy and paste it and put it on another one too. Then you're broadening your audience. It's something that I didn't do. I just barely started sharing on Facebook. Also, put together a chat or a group with just your close agents. I'm starting to do agent trainings once a week with my community. Oops, sorry, my foot hit that. thanks to my mom, she's on here right now. It was her suggestion. She's like, why aren't you doing this? When you have a close, tight-knit community of people who are motivated and they feel like they have the support and education and connection that they need, they're going to do a whole lot better than if they don't have that. I have personally focused a lot on my own growth. I don't want to focus on my own growth anymore. I want to help, be able to duplicate what I've been able to do into other people. And that comes from education. I was lucky enough to have Daryl, who I blew up his phone all day, every day. But what about this? What about this? Make sure that if you are coming on here as an agent, you take the time to learn these things yourself. Get with somebody who knows all the answers. And if they don't, go to support, but educate yourself too, so you can pour that into the other agents also. You don't want to leave people feeling like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to answer this. I don't know what to say. Now, they will feel that way in the beginning, but if you're educated enough to pour into them, then they'll be able to have a head start with that too. I guess when it comes to like social media or strategies, I could answer questions if there is any. Inspire
Hold on.
list.
I see. I see. So I should have, what is it? So I should have a paid membership with Coinbase and not the free one as an agent. We can't tell you what to do, but just from what she said, it is a good idea to go ahead and step up to the paid version of for the membership for Coinbase. I know I do. I have it as well. If you're going to be serious about this, that is something that I would definitely consider. Here's another question here. Do you have like a inspo of what kind of information to post on social media? I'm a little bit inspireless. I think that's what she said. So
Yeah,
I'll
I
let you
woke
go
up a
with that.
lot of days the same way. I was like, I don't know what to do today. I don't know what to do. I would just go to ChatGPT and I would, or even TikTok, look up tokenization, tokenized real estate, go to YouTube, ChatGPT, find some information on projects that are happening. I can't talk. And read through it, see what those boundaries and barriers are there, see what those returns look like if the information is there, and then share that. Hey, Trump is building a Maldives hotel. I'm so excited. They're tokenizing it. I can't wait for this to come out. And then I unfortunately had to make the video. I had a whole list of people who were like, keep me updated. I had to make a video saying, unfortunately, it's for accredited investors only. But we have something here that's going to give you higher returns anyways, because we have the accelerated returns in the first 18 months. It's something that, you can't pass on. So at this point, I don't feel comfortable showing all of my numbers, but I do recommend taking the time to show people your actual results. Get on a Zoom with someone, even if you're not too deep into it. Get on a Zoom with them, pull open my assets, click the little eye, and show them the returns that have came in each day. And if you have money in the e-wallet, remove it from your e-wallet and show them. You don't have to show them your whole crypto wallet, but show them the part that says transfer and it has that money coming in. I can't tell you how many people are like, yeah, but I guarantee when you go to withdraw the money, you're not going to get it. And I'm like, oh, here, let me do it with you. I'll show you. It's literally that simple. It's that easy. People are skeptical because they're not educated. They don't know. It's like the Form D thing and the New York registry. I had to educate myself on that more today so I could address it publicly. People are not educated. When they don't know, they are scared. I'm scared to do something I've never done before. I always am. But then once I know and I feel confident with it, and I'm like, okay, I get this, I'll jump in. I mean, like a maniac and just keep running. It's what I'm doing here. I believe in it. I love this. When you get those calls from people who are like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I felt like I was drowning to, oh my gosh, I see a retirement in my future. I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do that. I just paid for my kid's birthday party, whatever it may be. There's so much good that can happen here, especially if okay, this is something else. When someone puts money in there for the first time, okay, I'm like, take your money and withdraw it. So you can see it withdraw. So you can see the whole process. You know exactly how it works. And then I encourage everyone 6 months, don't touch it. Take every penny, every couple weeks, every couple months. I always say 1 month, but I guess it depends on how much they do and reinvest it. If you can go 6 to 12 months without touching that money and just letting it compound and build, amazing things can happen. If you told me 9 months ago, and I'm not a financial advisor, I do not recommend anyone take on debt, but if you told me 9 months ago I would be taking out a $10,000 loan to put 10,000 in a property, I'd say you're absolutely crazy. But I was uneducated. I learned, I saw it, I jumped in running, and now 9 months later, I have $276,000 invested. It's like taking that leap, doing something scary, but you have to educate yourself. That way you can educate others.
I love that. That was a bar for me where you said people are skeptical because they're uneducated.
Hmm.
That is I want you guys to get that. People are skeptical because they are uneducated. So all you have to do is become the one that provides the education. Most people don't want to take that time to be able to do that. They don't want to take the time out to get on those calls, those personal calls, like she said, become personable, educate people, be a source of information for people. Right? This is an amazing thing. This is amazing. But look, man, if Chelsea has dropped some absolute gems for you all today, let me see you drop some sevens in the chat for Chelsea as well. Drop some sevens in the chat. Let's represent for her. She's actually coming on and doing. I want you guys to get, she's doing this Super Saturday for free. She's a top level agent in the company, and she's doing this. She's taking time away from her family. She's taking her time to come in and help. Most of you all are probably not even on her team, but she's helping us as a whole. But that's the type of community that we have. So, man, I'm glad that you guys are dropping sevens in there. She is absolutely phenomenal. I saw some people drop some questions about like alternatives of Coinbase. I want to tell you, we share from our experience. And Chelsea, I don't know if it's your whole experience, but my only experience was for me was sending a wire to an exchange is with Coinbase. I think Kraken does it as well, or several others. But I can't advise or tell people about it. I can only tell you about what I've experienced and what has been the best for me. So, is that the same with you, Chelsea? Also,
It is. I think Kraken does take wires. I believe, I can't say for sure, but they also have fees. You're going to be paying a lot more to use
mhm.
Kraken. I believe one of my clients paid like 150 bucks for 10,000, somewhere around there. When you have the Coinbase account, 30 bucks a month, you're not going to, like, normally there's a $10 wire fee. You're not going to pay that. It's free. But it's also not going to cost you anything to buy any crypto.
There you go. That's why experience matters, guys. That's why we want to bring the experts here, so that you guys could see exactly how this works, right? So you can get this information from the people who are actually doing that, right? So
And,
look, I want y'all to look at us. Oh, with Daryl, were you saying something?
yeah, I just want to say something real quick, man. This woman here, man, has come a long ways. I mean, to where she wouldn't come on camera like this when we first started. So when you talk about somebody who has a story from the beginning to the end when it comes to estate, when she got started, and she'll share her testimony, came from nuts. She had nothing. She'll tell you this. One day, I think we need to hear her story from when she first started to where she is today. I'm proud of this young lady right here, man. She has come a long way, and I wanted her to hear that from me. If I've never said it publicly, I want her to know that I'm very, very, very proud of her.
Just tell me when we can do it.
Definitely, we'll have to make that happen. We're gonna make that happen. Well, one of the things I want to tell you guys is that we're gonna have more highlights of our top agents that are actually performing and producing, which I'm going to do some ambassador calls, right? Which we're going to interview them and we're going to see exactly how they achieved the success that they have achieved and get some insight and things from them to hear their stories, all of that type of stuff. So that's coming up very soon. So we got a lot of great things that are coming up. So you guys could definitely take advantage of that. But I want to personally give you your flowers. Agent level 15, Chelsea Lears, making it happen. Thank you for sharing with the people today. This is absolutely phenomenal. I'm excited for you. I'm excited. I'm excited. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, guys. We're going to keep this party going, but I know you guys are excited about the information that Chelsea just dropped on us, those gems that she just dropped, which were absolutely amazing, right? but we got to keep it going, right? We got to keep the fire going. So we have another gentleman that's going to come up, right? The ladies rocked it out. We're going to bring it back. We have another gentleman that is a also strategic partner with eState, absolutely making it happen. And this gentleman, I want to tell you guys, when I met this gentleman before eState, right? And one of the things that really got me excited about this gentleman was the fact that he was so genuine, right? And that he was a published author. He was passionate about everything that he was doing. He was a leader's leader, right? And I know I recognize people when they are leaders, leaders, right? And this gentleman just never ceases to amaze me. He has an incredible growing team, but he's going to come on and he's going to talk today. He's going to talk about momentum as well. He's going to talk about the momentum loop, right? And so this is going to be incredible. So I want you guys to give it up for our next speaker, Mr. Rashid Hill. We call him Coach Rashid. Coach Rashid, if you are on the call right now, I'm going to spotlight you and give you the floor so you can rock out today. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, my brother.
Whoa, what's up? What's up, man? And oh my gosh, I'm here, man. I'm here.
That's incredible. Drop some sevens in the chat for Rashid. Let's show him some love right now. Let's drop those sevens in the chat. Let's show Rashid some love. Brother, I'm going to give you the floor. Let's cook it up.
Man, that's awesome. Wow. Oh my gosh, what do I talk about? I mean, all the good stuff is out there, man. I mean, like they say, Daryl, bruh, just powerful, man. I love listening to when Daryl talks, it's like that information. You're like, I this is something that I need to know. This is something that I have been trying to figure out, and then it just all comes together. Man, I appreciate that. Marnita, Marnita, it's just love, man. I mean, she spreads love at the whole nother level. Really, really appreciate what I've heard today. And when it comes to Chelsea, I mean, you man, I'm gonna tell you, you blink your eye from 10 to 15, and you're like, what? And the beautiful thing about when leaders level up like that, it just makes it more real. That's what it does. And so when I'm talking to my community, it's about, wow, if you thought that you could get to level 3 or level 4, and that was like the holy grail, look what just happened, right? And we got some powerful people. Like I said, with Marnitha Scott, she's an absolute leader, and she just loves, she loves Chelsea, and she has a lot of respect for her as well. And so for when I look inside internally, there's people that see certain personalities, and this is just the nature of the business, right? I don't do TikTok because there's too many social media platforms out there, and I'm like, I just can't do them all, right? Because of my obligations on a personal level. But if I'm not doing it, and you on my team, and you want to follow somebody that's doing that, then look no further than Chelsea Lears, right? So that's what's so beautiful. Um, when I talked at the event in DC, excuse me, one of the key things that I think I brought to light was the three things that was just so amazing that happened for me coming into this program. And I mean, we could take 30, 40 minutes just honoring and appreciating what Anthony has really opened the door for all of us to see and to believe in, because of his level of expertise, his level of understanding of this space, and his longevity in this space. You got to respect that, right? And so that's really what got the ball rolling for me. And it made me turn away from everything else and just focus right here. And then my friend Daryl Porter, man, look, look, when I was being asked to look at the strategic partner, I was like, I got to call Daryl. Y'all might think that we're just, bodies that show up, right? In network marketing or crypto or online or whatever it is. You may think that we just do a couple of videos here or there and we just, kind of float around. No, after you have that level of respect for the people in this industry and you put in that work, then that respect, sometimes it crosses over into friendship. Sometimes it crosses over into just love for your brother or your sister. And that's like a whole nother level of powerful, right? And I did a training with my team when I was in Tyler, Texas. East Texas is just exploding. And one of the things I talk about, the next level is prosperity, right? And you can't see it on my background, but that's something that I've lived for a long time is when you go from, Next Era Learning is an online learning management software that I put a course online with, and it talks about we learn, right? We got to learn now. And everybody talk about communication, we talk about education. That's the ground, that's the foundation. And then you have right behind me Team Achieve, which is we earn, right? This is where we're earning. This is the platform. This is the vehicle. This is how we're going to get to where we want to be, right? In this life, right? We got another life, but this one we got to earn. Now, after we earn, we prosper, right? And that's the beauty of what e-estates is doing for us. We're earning, but my gosh, this is like a whole nother level of prosperity, right? So yeah, we're not making this amount over here and getting these percentages over here, and then those big dogs, those ultra wealthy, those big billionaires or whatever. We're on the same playing field. Like, can you believe that? We literally are in the same ballpark, um, in opportunity. Now, eventually, we'll get to that five or less than 5% of the wealthy because this is what e-estates delivers. And I believe it 100%. And that's why I'm going to talk about five key things about leadership tools, five key things that you want to make sure that you're doing or incorporating into your life and your being. As a strategic intervention coach, right? I do a lot of personal and professional development. That's what my book is called, 8 Ways to Be 10 Times Better, right? Personal and professional development where it upgrades your social skills, your professional skills, your personal skills, all of those things. I actually have an actual membership with an organization that does upskill and reskilling and new skilling because the technology is where you want to be. And ever since 2020, because we was at home during the pandemic, I was studying how to do things online, but how to do it for the next era, right? Not this era, the next era of learning, right? E-learning for the next normal. This is where tokenization really sits, right? And so I'm gonna do a revision of that. The book is more or less about personal and professional development on a personal level, where coaching and mentoring is key. But my next version is going to be about the digital era, right? 8 ways to be 10 times better in the digital area. And that's where AI and quantum computing and blockchain and tokenization comes into play. So one of the beautiful things about being on today is, yes, um, I had double booked my time slot, so apologize for being a little late. But man, I was glad that I got in and I caught some of Daryl and was able to obviously listen to the other speakers. So what you've heard, I'm not going to try to repeat that because all that's solid. All that is things that I take notes on, things that I want to incorporate into my organization. A lot of it, these are things that we do as leaders. So we appreciate, hearing those great things. But I want to get into this momentum loop. But before I get into that momentum loop, obviously, I want to give you like I said, these five tools. And of course, we're gonna talk about that. Well, I can do that first. I can do that first, and then I'll just hit these five leadership tools, and I won't have to elaborate on them. I'll just go into this because this right here, to me, everybody can relate. And if you can relate, then you can communicate. And when you communicate that to your team, then you have a winning strategy, right? But that's where the leadership tools will come in to complement this right here. So that momentum loop, when you first hear about this, right? And when I told my story, if you heard my story, hopefully they'll post it up and you can kind of understand why this means so much, right? Every leader, every member, agent, buyer, and so on and so forth, these are some of the things that you just incorporate and right. And I just wanted to put it to a model and give you a visual. And I love that. I think Brandon Ivy, he talked about being, having those different modalities of learning where you got the visual, you got the auditory, you got the audio digital, you got all of these different types of learning. So when we put this visual on the, maybe some of you are saying, I need to see what you're saying. You ever heard somebody say, I hear you? You ever heard somebody say, I see what you're saying, right? And if you stopped and think about that, why would they say, I see what you're saying? Are they seeing the words come out of your mouth? Because you're not seeing them, right? But they see it because they visualize what you're saying. That's powerful, right? So sometimes you can talk to people and they can get it. Some people say, I need to see that. That's where the slides come into play. That's where some type of drawing comes to play. You ever heard of a napkin agreement, right? You sit at the coffee table and you pull out a napkin and you have your best idea, right? Some people did that as well, and now they're multimillionaires. So these are key things that you want to understand. Talk to your audience, right? If your audience is visual, then you need to have something in front of them. That's key, right? So when we don't know it's a mixed audience, then you want to have at least audio and some visual. So this momentum loop. So this is really what got me started. I was, like everybody else, you're doing some other things or you're not doing anything or, you're just looking for an opportunity. But I had come off of a loss and I was like, man, you know what? I don't sit there and yeah. I don't sit and lick my wounds. I don't do that kind of stuff. I just pivot and I said, okay, what am I going to do next? Right. And so while I was kind of looking, um, to fast forward, I went online and of course I go to YouTube and I see Anthony DeLoatch doing these presentations and I'm like, wow. Then it started to make sense. Then it started to just really, really um, become, incorporated into my being. Like this is something that I really, really want to do because of the technology that I've been studying and researching for years. This is the culmination of all of that, right? And so starting with crypto and blockchain and trading and all that kind of stuff, it was leading up in order to bridge between TradeFi and DeFi, there had to be a bridge, and tokenization is that bridge. And so it was so powerful when I said, "Oh my gosh, I get it." And so yeah, Anthony definitely was a catalyst for me to really put the pedal to the metal and run with this. And so what I developed from that process, and then a few months later, when the team started to grow, it's like, wow, this is crazy, right? And so some of the things that I do a little differently from others, but I'm going to talk a little bit about this because everybody can incorporate this if you want to catch that momentum. Your belief level is key. Like that's something that people are challenged because of this. And so you know what? This is a good thing I can do, and I'm gonna do both at the same time because some of this information is going to apply to the ones that the 5 steps I was going to talk about. So with the belief, this is so critical because I was reading Les Brown's Laws of Success, right? Laws of Success. And in there, you got 12 laws of success. One of the things he says is leave all negativity and toxins behind. Your belief level can't rise if you're holding on to negativity and those mental toxins or the physical toxins. Your belief level is going to be limited because you have some distraction. You have disturbance right there in the field, that you're trying to move forward, right? Um, and I don't want to name organizations, but there's one with 2 initials that a lot of people know about. It just had its challenges and it just went away because they were trying to get more money out of people. Those people came out of the woodwork looking for something else. But the problem that they ran into is they want to ask questions that aren't really relative to the program. They want a guarantee. And it's like, wait a minute. Your belief level is not going to rise because I said it's the best thing. Your belief level rises because you take those negative things and remove them, leave the baggage, and study what's in front of you, right? If you're running a 100-meter dash and you're Noah Lyles or Carl Lewis or whoever it may be, you don't see them running backward. How you going to run backward and win the race? It's crazy, right? So in order to win, you got to look forward, look at what you have in front of you because that's where the goal is. The goal and the goal, I mean, no pun intended, but GOAL and GOLD is right in front of you. Take that level of gold and your goals, leave the negativity behind, kill the toxins, and focus on that. And I'm gonna tell you, All you got to do is jump on a Zoom. There's about 15 to 20 Zooms a week, right? And I reemphasize this to everybody in my organization as well, is that's where you build your belief. If you don't really understand this space, or even if you're a veteran, build your belief. That right there is key. So after you build that belief, leave the toxins behind, leave the negativity out. Just focus on here's the program. Let me understand what these leaders are saying that's presenting this information. After you do that, if you're not in the program, then you need to get in the program, right? Hey, let me get access so that I can practice some of the things that Daryl or Anthony or Chelsea or Marnita or Shalita, who, any of the leaders, what they were saying. Okay, now I'm gonna get access. You get in the program. That's your first step. Bam, I'm in the program. Now I don't need to believe what you said. I need to believe what you do. And Chelsea said it beautifully. I don't regularly show people what I'm personally making. I don't post that stuff up. I don't do all that. I feel like, look, if you're going to get into this program, it's because you believe in the program and you believe in me as a person that can lead you or guide you through this process to a level of wealth. Wherever your vision that you have of yourself, then I can help you get there. But at the end of the day, the money is a byproduct of your efforts, right? So at a point, I do show people, hey, look, okay, if I say that you start with a $3,000 property and do XYZ and you're going to make you this kind of money, oh, okay, well, where did you start? People ask that question, where did you start? And it's crazy because that's when I go back and say, oh, I started right here and this is where I'm at. Oh my gosh, like you really make that much per day? Yeah. But I don't do that on a regular because it's not necessary. Because if you don't believe in the information and the program, you're chasing after the wrong thing. It's going to be short-lived, right? So at the end of the day, you get that belief, you get access. You go ahead and you register with the person that invited you, and you keep that integrity and stay with the person that invited you. If you go look at a video, go to the person that invited you, right? You don't need to jump around. And then after you get access, you're going to say, okay, let me purchase a property. Let me actually purchase a property because I know he talked about that. I kind of believe him, but I've gotten registered. Now I need to see it work. When you see it work, if it's 4 cents a day, or if it's $16 a day, or if it's $400 a day, or if it's $1,700 a day, any of those numbers will produce your level of belief because of results, right? And so when you see those results, you can show those results, your level of confidence goes up. When your level of confidence goes up, your belief goes up. And guess what happens at that point? All of a sudden your chest is sticking out a little bit more. Your head is not down when you're talking to somebody. You're not having to write it down because you already got it up here. You're providing them a level of belief that you know what you're talking about, right? And I know Anthony has talked about it as well, is when you provide that information, right? It's not about, you don't have to know everything. It's not about that because we got enough leaders that are providing the information for all of the teams, right? Any of your prospects can come and get this information. Um, but when you have a level of understanding, you're able to teach it, right? It's one thing to learn it, but you don't know it until you can teach it. And so that's why presentations are key for me personally, because that means that at least I'm building that knowledge. I'm building that understanding so that I can deliver it in various ways to my different audiences. I have an international audience. I've built teams in different countries, so the dynamics are very different in many places. Definitely want to give a shout out to my Egyptian team because those guys are on and they let me know that they were on, and I appreciate that. Me and Mahmoud, we actually do the calls, and he comes back and he has to translate a lot of the stuff for me, and that's kind of a new thing for me. But if you don't know that I spent a lot of time in the Middle East, so I definitely have an understanding of the Arabic language, but at the same time, that's a challenge, right? But guess what? We want to get to that level of belief and we get them access, we get them to take action, and they're going to see those results. It don't matter what language you speak. Everybody understands profit. Everybody understands profit. And when they see the profit, then their belief level, the confidence goes up and they say, this is real. Yes, many people have been scammed around the globe. It ain't just America. Everybody's getting scammed across the globe. now it's time to get back in the game and do some good for our communities, right? Let's make sure that people are earning instead of being beat down by these horrible people out there. So here's one of the things that I'm gonna give you, and hopefully that was helpful. But yeah, I like Les Brown, good guy. Definitely, I know a lot of people probably have reviewed his information. Just like with Eric Thomas, I mean, just next level folks. These are some of the things that I picked up from, like I said, Les Brown. The laws of success, right? We're talking about leadership, we're talking about laws of success, and this does help to create momentum, right? You got to get to that level of momentum. Leave all negativity and toxins behind, right? Said mental toxins, physical toxins. We know whatever you put in your body, we got to be careful about that. And mental toxins, obviously, what you hear, what you listen to, those are key, and that depends on who you surround yourself with. And so you got to be careful of that. Sometimes, like I said, the people that maybe start with you, they may not finish with you, right? They may say, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then halfway through, they can't understand, they can't handle it, they don't understand. And this is where being first in a program like this, we're the first. Like we are the leaders in tokenization with eState and doing it the way they're doing it. Right? There's other companies doing something similar, but they're not doing it like this, and they're not moving as fast and as powerful and strategic as we're doing it. So we're the first in this particular category, and that brings on a lot of pressure. And some people start with you, but they won't finish with you. That doesn't mean that you're not doing your part. As a leader, I'm gonna tell you what Gordon Ramsay said. As a leader, and y'all know Gordon Ramsay, so I'm gonna leave out all that other stuff. Gordon Ramsay said, "Be a leader, not a friend." He said, "I want you to be perfect 24/7." Now, obviously, we know that everybody's not perfect. We know that people aren't going to be, perfect. We're human beings. We're going to make mistakes, and he understands that too. When you watch his documentary and stuff like that, we know he's hardcore. We know he kitchen nightmares king. But at the end of the day, he is not like that all the time. He understands, you know, human beings and he understands human behavior. But he's the boss. He's the leader. He knows that the speed of success in his kitchens to get him Michelin stars is the speed of the leader. So whoever he puts in charge, they have to emulate his perfection on the staff, and they don't play. And one lady literally was teaching them, putting them through their training, and she said, Gordon Ramsay is pasted across your forehead. Like you represent Gordon Ramsay like he's right here, right now. So, and I'm not I don't want nobody thinking that that's how we operate. Like, ain't no dictators around here. No, 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 no. But I'm just saying you have to take your business seriously. That's all I'm saying. Is as a leader, you take your business seriously. You don't let people just waste your time, right? If you're a leader and you've been in the space long enough, you know where the conversation's going, right? And that's what's so beautiful about when he does his agent accelerators, I think we all benefit greatly because he talks about these things. He talks about the objections that you might get. He talks about how to have those conversations when you're on the call, how to address them. You don't fight with people. Like I said, you just have to shift the conversation where it's a still positive outcome, right? And these are things that, like I said, if you've been in this game for a while, you understand that these are very important to deal with people, right? So I'm not gonna try to take it too long. But let me hit a couple of these and then we'll shut it down. Practice positive thinking, right? How do you practice positive thinking? Because some people struggle with that. Some people try to figure out, well, I don't what I'm telling myself to, wake up early. I'm telling myself to don't get mad when somebody cuts me off in the car. But a lot of people are saying what they don't want versus what they do want, right? Chelsea talked about goals, but this is part of it. I'm gonna tell you, I used to talk, I do videos all the time and been doing them for years. And I used to just talk about personal and professional development. And one of the things that I said was goals aren't enough, right? Because people set goals and they never reach them. They don't, right? But that's where a coach or a mentor comes into play. A lot of people don't want to be led. A lot of people don't want to be, nobody wants to be told what to do. And definitely nobody wants to be sold. But at the end of the day, You have to have the ability to have that conversation where they want to talk to you, where they come to you. And that's another thing, like Chelsea said, she don't have to follow up because they're going to follow up with her because they see her as personable. They see her as somebody they can talk to, right? So she's coaching and mentoring without coaching and mentoring. That's pretty powerful. And that's the best way to do it, right? So you just got to be that person that people will be attracted to. And that's where obviously, the law of attraction, all that good stuff, whole nother conversation. Um, Reading books is another part of that. Practice positive thinking. If you're not reading positive things, if you're not nurturing your mind, I think Daryl Porter really has cornered the market on I mean, a trilogy of positive information that really fits into our lives, right? Definitely, that's a key, right? There, and I got his book as well, and just, I mean, the mindset. You gotta figure out what's that new era of money and investing, and how do we navigate that? These are things that you have to put more of that in your mind in order to produce that positive thinking and positive self-talk so that you can get through some of those challenges. But always, 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 your upline leader, like I'm telling you, all the people on here, they are solid. Like if you got any challenges, I'm sure if you reach out and say, hey, look, I'm dealing with this. I got this challenge. I'm having a tough time. You're going to get a response based on experience based on experience. And that's what I love when I talk to my folks and my leaders and anybody in my team. I say, look, I'm available. You know how to reach me because I'm all over the place. I'm on this social media. I'm on this one. You got my number, whatever, whatever. And people can reach me all day, all night. So definitely got to do that. Definitely you want to read 8 Ways to Be 10 Times Better. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Um, Always follow up. So this is something that I can't stress this enough. I have some leaders from the network marketing like absolute diamonds, like at the top of their organization, and they just kind of got started with us, and they're rocking, like really rocking. And I say, look, this is not a network marketing business, but if that's your strong suit, that's what you do, right? And guess what? Every single day they're bringing somebody in, and they have them do a minimum amount every single day. Every day. It's crazy. So I don't sit there and say, look, do what I told you to do. No, no, no. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to support you, right? And that's what leadership is supporting through coaching and mentoring. If you don't understand the program, but you know how to bring people online, bring them online. We'll do a three-way, or weekly, we'll do a training call. We'll do an onboarding call. We'll make sure that everybody has the right information moving forward. That's what I do to support my leaders here because they're making it happen. The other thing is always follow up, stay connected, and be humble. Um, I'm gonna tell you, money is money. Ain't nobody got no qualms about making more money. I ain't gonna sit here and argue with nobody and say that that's not important in this day and time in this life. This is money makes things happen, right? So I got that piece of it. But you got to stay humble. You got to work with your folks. You have to work with your folks. You have to work with your people and meet them where they are. Meet them where they are. You can't drag them to where you are. You have to say, where are they? Okay, I see you're in this position. Let me listen so that I can assist you in the best way, right? And they will appreciate that so much more. I built teams, like I said, since about 2016. In 2024, I walked away. I walked away. I started this program with 3 people, right? And now we're doing amazing, right? We almost had 1 million in volume, and I'm just thrilled. I'm thrilled for that. But here's mentorship is leadership, right? That's the other thing. Mentorship is leadership, and that involves coaching and mentoring, right? Um, and you don't have to be, some certified person. You just need to have compassion, be humble, and work with the people where they are and bring them along with you. Um, be a leader, not just a friend. So those are some of the things that I wanted to deliver. Like I said, I'm not gonna stretch it out too long. But that's, hopefully that connected. I do plan on. I got a surprise. I got something that I'm brewing up right now to contribute to the education of the community. That'll be coming out very soon. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. it's definitely going to be about technology. It's going to be about education. It's going to be about expanding your vision and understanding. Because I believe, based upon, I had some questions for our CEO, Brandon Stevenson, a few times, and he's very kind enough to reply. And a lot of times he's give the information, and sometimes he just says, "I can't tell you that right now," and that's cool, right? But I believe, based on the roadmap, that the technology we're mastering today from an ESTA's perspective, I believe that's going to expand into other areas because the world is not slowing down. You got to stay up. You got to stay up on this, right? And so I believe that since we have a powerful education piece that the company believes in, that's why they brought on Brandon Ivy and his team. I believe that they're very serious about the education piece, and so getting that education on crypto and blockchain and current events, then I'm just going to further that. I'm going to take that to another level. Whereas I think we're going to be going in the future with this organization, right? I think we've all said it. I talk about it from the wave of wealth. You guys hear it from Brandon and Anthony and everybody from the river and the flow of money. All of that leads us to the next big thing. And that's what I'm going to be presenting coming soon. That's my time. Peace, and I'm done. Thank you all.
Awesome. Incredible. Incredible. You rocked out, my brother. We appreciate you. Y'all drop some sevens in the chat for Coach Rashid for dropping the knowledge there. Let's represent. Let's show out. He's an educator's educator, right? Like this is the big thing that he's bringing. He's all about leadership. He teaches this. This is what he does professionally. So this is the caliber of people that we're bringing to the stage, that we're bringing to E-Estate, that's representing E-Estate. So do not take this for granted. I'm glad that you guys got to hear from this brother here, man. That's exciting. Brother, I want to give you your flowers right now and tell you that I'm excited about partnering with you. I'm excited about when we get to go on the road to speak together and us going to the next level together as well. So that is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys for doing that. Now we got a few minutes left. I'm gonna talk about something at the end. I don't know if we'll have time to do like a panel session. We'll see if we had that may be like an extra credit thing. I know my brother Daryl Porter had to leave because he had some other obligation things too as well. But we'll see if we'll be able to do that. But I did want to come on really quick and leave you guys with something powerful right now, right? I wanted to come on and leave you guys with something that I believe is amazing. And I wanted to end it with with some heat, right? With some fire. And I was preparing for this, right? And I was really preparing for this, and I got excited. I was listening to, I don't know if you guys listen to hip hop, but I was listening to Drake's album, and he has a song on his album called "Bees on the Table," right? I don't know. Y'all heard Iceman? Y'all hear Iceman? If you heard it, let me see some hearts and hundreds if you guys have heard the Iceman CD, right? Right. But I was listening to that, right? And there you go. There you go. I see some people have been listening to it like me. All right. So he has a song called Bees on the Table. And I thought it was so fitting for what we have right now. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of stuff right now. But I want you guys to understand right now, and I'm going to go through my whole thing. You guys know how I do it. But a lot of people are talking about M's when there's B's on the table. I hope you understand what I'm saying, right? I want you to know that when I do my presentation, we talk about going to a multi-billion-dollar company. Notice I didn't say there's a B on the table. I said there's B's on the table. So we have a multi-billion-dollar company, and you hear me in the presentation say that we're not just going to create millionaires, we're going to create millionaires. Why? Because this is a $16 trillion market shift, and some people are looking at this, but they're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You know, I say all the time, two people can look at the same thing and not see the same thing. Two people can look at the same opportunity and not see the same opportunity. There's somebody looked at E-Estate and said, I can make a couple $1,000s with this a month. And there's somebody that looked at this and said, this is going to change the legacy of my entire family. So I want to tell you right now, you I want y'all to get this, right? Right now, there's B's on the table, but the whole thing is, can you see it? Now, what I'm going to talk about tonight, well, today, what I'm going to talk about is there's some B's that we need to talk about. You guys know, if you've been on my agent accelerators, I talked about the E's, I talked about the F's, right? I talked about all of that stuff, but today we're going to talk about B's. We're not going in any particular order, but I want to tell you, hold on, let me switch the hat out real quick. I'm going to switch the LA to the believe hat, right? Let's do the believe. First thing, you got to believe. Hold on, you got to believe, right? And we're going to talk about belief, right? You got to get your mind right before you can get your money right. Before you can build billions, you must believe it's possible. What I look at is belief is permission. Belief is you giving yourself permission to dream big and take the first real step. Is without it, every other principle that's nothing you can stand on. People talking about I'm standing on business, but you better get some belief before you're not really standing on business. You got to have some belief to stand on. When the things, Chelsea said, some days I get up and there's not inspiration there for me to create something. You got to have some belief behind that's going to keep you going, even in the times you don't feel like going, right? I want to tell you there's some belief that you need to have to stand on if you're going to really stand on business. That's your first B. Let me tell you, most people, can I tell you, there's a difference between believing in general and believing internal. You got to believe that it's possible, not just possible, but possible for you. See, there's somebody looking at Chelsea and they're saying, oh, I think Chelsea's going to go to agent level 20 in a year. And she probably will. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there for her. Before she has a year time frame, Chelsea will probably be agent level 20. That's powerful. There's somebody that believes that. If you believe that right now with me, with the rate that she's going, put 20 in the chat. Put some 20s in the chat. Let me see. I just want to see if you guys already know she's going to hit agent level 20. Here's what I want to get you to do, though. Instead of just having belief that Chelsea could do it, I need you to internalize that. And I want to tell you, oh, look, I can hit agent level 20. Now you set your own time frame. It may be before the end of the year. How many people are bold enough? How many people are courageous enough to say, I'm going to hit agent level 20 before the end of the year? Now, I want to see how many people can put 20 in the chat. Put 20 in the chat now. And this is for you. I know you did it for Chelsea, and Chelsea's going to get there. But put the 20 in the chat. That's what this one is for you. Stand on business about your belief about what you can accomplish. You got to get there. And look, we're not trying. I'm not trying to do that. Let me give y'all a lesson on belief. I don't try. I'm not trying to get to age of level 20. I'm going to age of level 20. Imagine me saying I'm going to try to go to the store. Imagine me leaving somewhere at night and say, I'm going to try to get home. That's not the language that we use. No, I'm going home. Will there be obstacles on the way home? I could get a flat tire. I could run into this. I could all this, but I don't say that I'm trying. What do I say? I'm going home. So right now, I'm going to agent level 20. I'm not trying. Whew. I'm not trying. So you got to have the belief. Here's the next thing. Ooh, you got to have the blueprint. See, belief without a plan is just hope. You got to back up that belief with a blueprint. A blueprint turns a mindset into a method. What? I hope y'all taking screenshots. Belief without a plan is just hope. A blueprint turns a mindset into a method. That's why on the Agent Accelerator, what do I say? We're going to give you the mindset, the skill set, and the toolkit. Map out a clear, repeatable steps that anyone on the team can follow. You hear what Chelsea said? Chelsea said we have a process that we use. Everyone on the team, it's a system. It is a mindset. It's a method that they use. When you get up, she told y'all, she gave y'all the game. She gave y'all the tools. She gave y'all the resources. Put it together into a method. Map it out. Make it clear. and repeatable. Most people look, write the vision, write what it is, make it plain so others can run with it. Oh man, let's go. Bold action. What do I say all the time? I'm not new to this, but I'm true to this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. A blueprint means nothing until someone moves. Remember, you got to write the vision, make it plain, but somebody got to run with it. Somebody has to take the bold action. The bold action is the courage to take the first step before you feel fully ready. You may not feel all the way ready, but it's okay. Take the action anyway. What did Marnita Casa talk about? She said, even if you're losing weight, go out there and do it. The momentum is built not by waiting, it's by doing. Take the first step, do the first rep, do whatever you got to do. Change it. Look, I said, I'm getting back on it. Earlier this year, I said, I'm going to get to the best shape that I've ever been. I'm going to get to my best self health-wise, financially, and everything. Financially, it's going very well. Health-wise, I got off track. Anybody ever got off track before? If you got off track before, drop a 3 in the chat. Health-wise, I went through a spell because of weather, other things that I was doing. I got real busy. I stopped running. I stopped doing all the stuff that I was doing. I said, I got to get back on track, right? I didn't feel all the way ready. You know what I had to do? I had to go ahead and force myself to go out and start running. I went running the other day. It was good. It felt good. I said, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But then when I came home and it was like a day, when I woke up the next morning, I said, I don't know why I did that. Anybody ever felt like that? It hit me because I was aching. The body was sore. The body wasn't used to that bold action that I took, but it was necessary. I had to do it. And I had to keep doing it. Here's the problem. Most people do it for one time. They run into a challenge or obstacle because it doesn't feel as good after you made the decision as it did before you made the decision. And now you want to change your mind about the decision that you made. But I want to tell you, you got to keep going. I had to keep going. I said, I'm going to get up and run tomorrow. It doesn't feel good. It was hurting. I was sore, but I knew I had to make an adjustment. This is a transformation. This is a transformation. And when you're going through a transformation, it don't always feel good. Create the momentum, though. One good decision leads to another. Just like one bad decision leads to another. Take that good step. See, I did the step of running, so I started running every day. What else? Then I bought some protein shakes because I'm gonna replace some of those meals. Then I bought some salads. They just came while we were on the call. I got some salads that I got now. I'm gonna change those things. They said the recording gonna stop in a couple minutes. I guess we may miss some of this on this because I know everybody's not gonna rejoin, but it'll be all right. Here's the next one, right? Brand is trust at scale. Billions are built on reputation. See, we're not just going to millions. We got to talk about what it takes to get to billions. Billions built on reputation, how you show up consistently, honestly, every day. What did Chelsea say? Figure out what you're going to do every day and do it regardless of how you feel. Every single day. Every single day. That's going to build your reputation. You know what? People like to join people that they know, like, and trust. That KLT factor. You know what causes the know, like, and trust? Consistency. When they see that you show up every day. Why do I do a presentation Monday through Friday? I don't have to. I've been doing this for a year. I don't have to do a presentation Monday through Friday. We got some experts out there doing presentations. But you know what builds the trust? You know what builds the brand? It's the consistency of me showing up Monday through Friday every single time. It's what earns the trust that makes people follow you into everything that comes next. So when you come up to a challenge because they trust you, when a bad headline pops up because they trust you, they say, hey, what are you going to do? Well, this is what I'm doing. And they say, okay, well, if you're doing that, I'm doing that too. But see, if you all over the place wavering, guess what? They don't know who to follow. If you're not consistent, they don't know if they really trust you. You got to show up. What is it? Not only brands, and you're going to see that all of the speakers had this stuff in common, bonds. Your network is your net worth. I know you guys have heard that before, but nobody reaches billions alone. We're not going to go to a multi-billion-dollar company with just a few people. There'll be a few people that got it started. There'll be a few people that really make the next level thing, right? But I want to tell you, this is about all of us. The strength of our community and team multiplies what one person could ever carry themselves. You do not go just as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. So I want to tell you, find those people that are around you and lock arms with it. That's why our community is one of the strongest things that we have in this company. It's building a solid community where everybody supports each other, right? That's why I say, like, our team is team phenomenal. That's the team that I'm on. But this is a team that I have, but it's built on the principle that we're all going to work together to achieve a common goal. And we don't fight against each other. We're fighting with each other so we can fight the opposition so we can go further. What else? Books. All of this stuff has been talked about, right? But let's talk about books. Financial literacy. Let's talk about this. Why do you think the top people in the company are writing books? This is bigger than us. Financial literacy and discipline keep growth grounded. When we tell you more than just about tokenization, when we tell you more than just about this other stuff, I've been talking to people about different things. I've been talking about not only acquiring wealth, I've been talking about maintaining wealth, but I've also been talking about protecting wealth, right? Because it's much more. Why do you think ILCA has their core principles that they teach everybody? Because we don't just want you to be successful in estate. We want you to be successful financially and successful in your life. Understanding the numbers behind every opportunity is what separates lasting wealth from a passing trend. Understand the numbers. What are you going to do from there? Some of y'all come over here, you make $1 million. What? You come over here, you make $1 million, you make million. I'm not giving any guarantees, by the way. I'm not giving anybody any, but let's say you come over here, you make $1 million. What you do with a dollar matters. What? You may come over here and make with $1 million, but if you understand what to do with a dollar, those dollars won't last. See, I heard a long time ago that a fool and his money shall soon part. Why do lottery winners, right? I want y'all to understand, why do lottery winners lose their money? Because they never transform into the person. If you're going to make millions of dollars, I hope you become a millionaire in your mind before the money leaves you. If you get $1 million, I hope you become a millionaire in your mind before that money leaves you, because you won't stay a millionaire long. We've got books. I've got The New Era of Wealth, Building Legacy in the Age of Digital Assets. We have Breaking the Stronghold. We got Rashid with his book. We got From Homeless to Unstoppable with Marnita Casa. We got so many people out here that's dropping books, and we can also refer you to other books. I hope you guys have read those powerful books out there that are legendary. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I hope you guys have read Think and Grow Rich. I hope you guys have read, I hope you guys have a whole collection of books that's going to allow you and going to help you become the person that you need to be, so you get to keep the money that you get to make over here with e-estate, right? Let's talk about the 7th one, though. This is one of my favorite ones. Breakthrough. 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 Hello? We talking about breakthrough. See, there's some people over here that this was their breakthrough. But there's some people over here, they're aiming towards their breakthrough. For some people that look, somebody told them not to do this, but because they did, they had a financial breakthrough, and their life is totally different now than it looked before they joined this. But I want to tell you that as we're going to help more people break through, What we have to do is show them our belief. We have to show them the blueprint. We have to take the bold action. We got to build the brand. We got to build those bonds. We got to read the books, and the growth stops being linear and it goes exponential. Exponential. It goes exponential. Where you don't wait months in between one level to the next, where you happen to be like Chelsea Lears and you go from, I was doing a thing, I think in a month you go from 11 to 15. See, that's not linear growth, that's exponential. See, there's a book out there I hope you guys get. 10x is better than 2x. 10x is actually easier than 2x, but the cultural hypnotic system got you thinking that I can only double from week to week or from month to month, but they eliminate the power of exponential growth. 10x is better than 2x. It's about you going from growth to scale. When you're not looking like, hey, look, I got to go from 100 to 200 people. Then I got to go from 200 to 400 people. Then I got to go from 400. Or it's not, I got to go from 30,000 in volume. I got to go to 60,000 in volume. And then I got to go to 70,000 in volume. And no, but when you have the exponential growth, when you be like, you know what, this month I did 30,000 in volume, but when you set your sights on $300,000 in volume, and you say, well, how can I get from $30,000 in volume to $300,000 in volume in the next 60 days? And guess what? That's when you start thinking differently than the thought process that you would have if you just said, I'm going to go from 30 to 60. All right. We're going to have some breakthroughs over here. As a matter of fact, we're over time, but we're having breakthroughs right now. I told Marnita Casa, I was like, she had set a goal for 7. I said, you're going to do it before then. I think it's evident that she did it before, whatever that goal was. Look, what I'm telling you guys, I'm going to challenge everybody. It's nobody that's going to talk to me that I'm not going to set a breakthrough goal for you in my head, even if you don't accept it. And I'm going to keep, and I'm going to keep that goal out there, right? I'm going to keep that goal out there until it happens. Yes, Chelsea will be an ambassador with eEstate. Marnita Casa is going to be a strategic partner with eEstate. Just like I told Rashid Hill that he would be a strategic partner with eEstate. Or when I told Daryl Porter that you're going to do this. Or when I talked to Deanna and I'm like, hey, look, this is happening. I'll put it out there for you. I want to see the growth. I want to see the growth. We do not go to billions of dollars without all of this. We don't go, and we're not trying. We're not trying to go. We're not trying to go to $1 billion company. We are going to $1 billion company, multi-billion dollar company. We're not trying to go. It's going to happen. No matter what has to happen. We're going. Multi-billion dollar company. And you guys are just at the beginning. You guys are just at the beginning. We're just scratches. We're on a call and it's 118 of us right now. We got up to like 150. It was 150. We're going to look back at this and we're going to say, you remember we had that little Super Saturday with 150 people on it? How do I know we're going to say that? Because I remember when I had that agent accelerator that had like 10 people on it. Oh, I remember when I had that presentation way back in the day when we were just getting started and it was like five people on it. It was me and like 4 other people and we were talking. And we were on the call. I was like, hey, I'm doing a presentation. And they're like, okay, Anthony, I don't know what this crazy thing is you're doing. Because you're crazy and I'm a little bit crazy. I'm going to do it with you. And now we have grown to see what we see now. We started a presentation. Look, I did a live meeting in Raleigh, North Carolina, the very first ever live meeting in Raleigh, North Carolina. And we had like 40 people there. I think Reggie was there, Lynn was there, Maurice was there. And you know what it was? It was a lot of people. Most of the people were kind of local to us because that was the people that was coming. We didn't really have a lot of people that traveled too far to come to the meeting. But we started with 40 people. Now you can't keep. We do events around the country with 100 people, and people like, hey, look, can I get more tickets after it closes? 100 plus people. We do 100 tickets. They be like, hey, look, can I get some extra ones? And we just get started. Do y'all realize we just had our first summit? Our first major summit was in Miami, and that was in January. Chelsea says stadiums will be flowing into the next year or two. Do you guys see that? What's going to happen? There's people who are going to come in. Let me tell you guys this. There's people who are going to come in and it's going to exceed everything that we've done. Y'all think Chelsea going fast? Chelsea probably will sign up somebody who's going to be like, age of level 15. I did that in 3 months. What are you talking about? That ain't nothing. Age of level 15, I got there in 3 months. What do you mean? Age of level 20, we do that in like 6 months. We had to change. Look, we're going to have to extend it, right? Like age of level 20. Look, with this stuff, with all the stuff that's going on, here's what I know, right? We got an incredible opportunity. We got the right leadership in place. Forget what all them other people saying. Forget what all them other people out there talking about. I told y'all that a long time. I said, look, what do you do about those haters? Forget them. It's like it's F them. And I want to clear it up. It's forget them. Right? I said, forget them. Why? Why do I tell them that? Because of the fact that if you look at the performance, now, can I say something? I know he's not, right? I know. I want to say this. Can I say this? And that y'all, I may should stop recording, right? They are so bent on saying that our CEO is AI. You heard that before? Anybody heard that before? Drop a 2. Drop a 2 in the chat. You heard that before? They're so bent on it. Here's what I said. He's not, but if he was, he's better than all y'all other companies that you've been in, and he's doing better than all of them, and he's produced more than all of them other ones that y'all are. He's not, but I'm just trying to tell you, maybe you need an AI CEO. They over there hating. I'm saying maybe you need to get some AI to take CEO of your company because you ain't really doing nothing. I told you the only reason why they watching us because we're performing. Nobody would have their eyes on us if we weren't succeeding the way that we are succeeding. The reason why they're watching us and talking about us and our CEO and what we're doing and trying to do all that, because if they talked about themselves, nobody else would come to listen. Nobody else want to hear what they talking about. So they got to talk about us. Anybody that is focused, they're focused on what they're doing and not what everybody else is doing. So when you hear the negative and you hear the naysayers and you hear all that stuff, F them. Forget them. Forget them. I ask people all the time, I said, look, you don't like what I'm doing. You don't believe in what I'm doing. You don't want to do what I'm doing. Why are you trying to interfere with what I'm doing? Why do you got to talk about what I'm doing? Are you okay that when I'm doing it, that I don't send back the money that you said that I wasn't going to make? Are you okay that all the people that I refer that's making money, are you okay that they're not going to send back the money that they're making? And are you okay with you just... All right. Okay, so let me get back into ambassador role, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna behave from now on. Let me get back into the corporate thing, but I want to tell you guys this was a breakthrough call. I'm glad that you guys are here. You see what's on the screen? Seven B's. Y'all know seven's my favorite number. Seven B's. We see we're not people over here talking about seven figures. That's old news. Chelsea, do you have a seven-figure organization already?
Yes. Yeah.
Already. She got a multiple seven-figure. You probably got seven figures right now, right?
8.2.
8.2. Hold on. Y'all drop some fire in the chat. How many people y'all drop and they still wondering? She got multiple seven figures. So we're not talking about seven figures, we're talking about seven B's. This is what we're talking about, guys. Seven B's, multiple billions is what we're doing right now. Let them, they over there focused on M's. They ain't even in the same category as we are. Chelsea's not focused on having $1 million of revenue because she already did that 8 times. She already did that 8 times. 8 times. We ain't making no income claims. We just talking about results. What do you think our company is going to do? All right, so that's a good point. The end is we talking about multiple billions. So I want you guys to end right now, right? Here's what's going to take us to those multiple billions. Continue with the belief. Keep following the blueprint. Take bold action. I want you guys to support the brand and build the brand. Build bonds with the people who are around you. Read the books and you will get the breakthrough. Get your mind right, get your money right, because the future starts today. It's our time, guys. Look, if you guys are excited about this, if this has been phenomenal for you, I want you to drop those sevens in the chat for me. Sevens. And remember, the sevens don't stand for seven figures no more. We're gonna drop them sevens in the chat, right? Because this is representing the billions. The billions. The billions. This is where we are, guys. Look, man, I'm excited to another level. And I'm so glad that each and every one of you all were on this call, for you all that stayed on for the entire time. I think the information that needed to go out went out. I do want to see really quick. Excuse me. I wanted to see really quick. I would be remiss if I did not ask, is Deanna on? I just wanted to make sure. Is Deanna on right now? I was asking my wife, did you see Deanna?
I saw her.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. She's on.
She's on. Deanna, raise your hand so I can see you. It may be. Oh, there we go. I want to give Deanna an opportunity. I'm gonna promote you to a panelist. She's another strategic partner. I know you didn't get to speak today, and I told you I was going to pull on you, but we didn't do the panel today. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to come share a little bit with the people before we log off today. Deanna, you got anything that you would like to share with the audience today?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. Today was just absolutely phenomenal. Woo! I'm on fire, ready to go. In fact, this is really so much in alignment with what I was talking to my team leaders about just if not yesterday, the day before. I was like, okay, we're at this level where we're at right now. We need to take a different approach. My approach is I'm rejoining eState as a first-time buyer. I have that same enthusiasm, that same excitement, and we're going forward, and I'm going to work it like I did in September when I first joined, because I kind of took my foot off the pedal a little bit, but I'm back. Okay, so we're re-strategizing. We've got the energy. Today was just, like I said, phenomenal for the team, my team, everyone's team. We're all inspired to go out there and make it happen and be part of the B Club. Okay.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm excited. Look, you guys know we're in Deanna's backyard.
Yes, sir.
At the end of this month, the 25th, we'll be in Vegas. She's gonna be, look, she's gonna be like Deanna, when she's out there, she's gonna be the one to keep us in line, right?
Yes.
You know, I can't be responsible for what me and Brandon Ivy do, like in because it's our birthday month. So I know that some of us we can't be responsible for. We Deanna's going to keep us a little bit in line, at least some of the time, right? I don't
Yes,
know.
sir.
Deanna might get out there and turn up herself. I don't know.
I
So I
like to party too.
there you go. I love it. So, man, we'll be in your backyard. We're gonna be looking forward to doing things. I will make this announcement now. I told Brandon Stevenson earlier. I said, I am taking a sabbatical. We've been at this for over a year, guys. Brandon Stevenson, our CEO, is on vacation, by the way, too. He's on vacation right now. Technically, he's on vacation. I am going to be taking a sabbatical as well. It's going to be from July 20th. I'm still going to be at the Las Vegas event. I'm still going to do that. But from July 20th and I'll return on August the 3rd. From July 20th I'll return on August the 3rd. I'm gonna take some time away. We've been at this over a year, 100% of the time building this. So we're gonna do that to get some rest, right? So no private calls. I won't be doing any presentations. I'll be reaching out to people to see if they want to step into place to do the presentations that I was doing. But I will not do any of that stuff. We're gonna enjoy, right? I'm gonna spend some time in Vegas, spend some time with my wife, with my kids, with my family, and everything, right? So we're gonna do that. That's going to be so important. I encourage you guys to do that as well. Yeah, I know we 100% estate, but sometimes you got to get a break, right? You got to give yourself that time to relax, right? You got to give yourself that time to step away. And then, but when we come back, August 3rd on, when we come back, it's on. It's on big time, right? I still got some stuff that I want to work on before then. How many of you all would want some next level professional sales training? Like next level. If you would want next level professional sales training, drop some ones in the chat. So I'm working on some stuff to get us some things out there so we could get next level professional sales training. I'm always thinking about how we take this thing to the next level. And I think one of the things that's going to help us there is, once again, education and being educated on the professional process of selling, right? And so that's going to be powerful. I'm working on bringing that to the community and everything, so that we have that as well. So, man, we're looking at so much stuff to make this even better, and never going to stop pushing forward to make that happen, right? So, got a lot of incredible things in store for you guys, and we're always thinking about you guys. And that brings me to the point right here where we're going to end this, guys. Here's what I want to tell you. We're going to end this like we end every other presentation. Some of you all probably can say it better. Oh, hold on. Y'all was about to let me forget something. I can't do a meeting without what? Guess what I forgot? We can't do a meeting without what? Oh, y'all know me. Y'all already know me, right? We can't do a meeting without a giveaway. I want to bless somebody today. I want to bless somebody today. Right? I want to bless somebody. I want to bless somebody. We're going to do, since I almost forgot it, I'm going to do a $500 giveaway. $500. Y'all think that's good? I'm going to do a $500 giveaway. So you can purchase some tokenized property on our platform. $500. $500. Hold on, let me see. I don't know. All right, since y'all say can we all participate, I'm gonna give away two $500. My wife over there said like 1,000. Right? We're gonna do one for new people. If somebody had the belief and you stayed on the 420 with us, you've been on since before 2 p.m. and it's 420 and you're brand new. Raise your hand right now. If you're brand new, raise your hand right now. I want to know. We're gonna do a $500 giveaway for people brand new. So let me do the first people. Let me do the brand new people first. And when I say brand new, that means that you have not purchased anything on our platform yet. Raise your hand right now. You haven't purchased anything on our platform yet. All right, y'all got your hands up. Y'all got your hands up. I see quite a few people with your hands up. First of all, let's celebrate the people who stayed on. What is it? Latika White, Latika Lewis, Alejandre D, Panea. Looks like Natalie, Michael. Congratulations, man. You guys are incredible. You stayed on the presentation. Keep your hands up if you're brand new. If you have not purchased anything from our platform. Have not purchased anything. We want to be a blessing to somebody that maybe hasn't purchased yet, right? So we got Michael, we got M. Donna, we got Mahab, I believe it is. If I pronounce your name wrong, I promise you it's not on purpose, right? So we got a few people. So the people with their hands up, here's what I want to do. I want you to participate in this giveaway. I want you to participate in this giveaway. I'm gonna make this first one easy. You got your hands up. Here's the question, guys. First person who drops the correct answer in the chat is going to be the winner. But you got to be one of the people who got their hands up right now that's brand new, right? All right, here's the question. What was the name of the app that Chelsea told us about that she uses to send? Oh, Latika was like, I'm on it. It's word board. I already knew. Latika was the winner. She was like, I already know. Latika, you are the winner today. You are the winner of $500. We're going to send over to your e-wallet for you to make your first purchase on the e-estate platform. Latika, congratulations. Latika, if you don't mind me asking, who invited you to e-estate? Who invited you to check out this information? It was Sarah Webb. Awesome. So congratulations. Thanks. Be very thankful that Sarah invited you onto the presentation. Now I'm gonna ask my wife if you can put my Crypto King Anthony email in the chat so that Latika can email me with her email address that she enrolled with so I can transfer the funds in there. All right. My wife just put it in there. It's cryptokinganthony@gmail.com. All right. So that's our first winner. Right. Now, Latika, you can't participate. This you already won. Right. But everybody else, this next one can participate. So you can put your hands down. This is for everybody. Right. Latika, make sure you send me the email with your email address so I can transfer those funds over to you. All right. So this one is going to be for everybody. Anybody can participate. All right, we're gonna give away another 500. Another $500. $500. Not five. Look, not 500 EST. See, y'all think I was getting $5,000 out of me. It's not. I like to give. I'm not doing that right now. Later on, I'll do that. It's $500. I just want to make sure y'all know that, right? It's 500. All right, we'll let the company do that $5,000 stuff. Y'all see all those giveaways we did in Washington, D.C.? It was crazy. I was like, okay, but that was crazy. All right, so let's do this for everybody to participate, right? I want you guys to get this one, all right? And this is going to be an easy one. So it's just about who's going to be the first one to actually get this right. It's for anyone to be able to get this, right? Are y'all ready? All right, here's the question. This is going to be for everybody. So this is from the presentation in general. Hopefully you guys have seen some information. So what is the 3 letters for our token? All right, y'all look, host, y'all make sure that I get the right person. Hold on. Host, make sure that I get the right person. Who was it? It looks like Panea to me. Is that right? Y'all got Panea Lene? That's who it is. Panea Lene was the first one to drop it in there. Panea Lene is the first one. Huh? Hold on. I thought Chelsea agreed with me, Panea. I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, I got Panea first.
That's
Chelsea, did you see Panea first?
that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, it was her, Panea. I'm going back up to it. Yeah, Panea, and then me,
Yeah,
Siwa. Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
Panea first. All right, Panea, you are the winner. She said I had to scroll up. Yeah, you're right. All right, so good. Panea, you are the winner today. And Panea, who invited you on to the call today, or who's your sponsor? If you already started, who's the person that got you started? Who's your referring agent? Siwa, awesome, awesome. That's incredible. So, Panea, make sure that you send me your email address so I can send $500 over to your e-wallet so you can make a purchase on our platform. Now, y'all know that's consistent passive income for you. That's a gift that's going to keep on giving. That's a gift that's going to keep on giving for Panea. All right. So, guys, we got to be able to bless some people for today. That is absolutely phenomenal. She already sent it to me. So, if my wife, if you could take that down, that email address, if you could copy that for me, she already sent it. She said, I'm getting my $500 as soon as possible. That's what I'm talking about. Success loves speed. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap this up. You guys know how I'm going to end this as I end every other presentation. I want to tell you guys, look, we love and care about each and every one of you. And not only do we want to see you win, we want to help you win. So until we all meet again on another presentation, I want you guys to have an absolutely phenomenal day. Somebody said another giveaway. Look, I'm not messing with you, but I want you guys to have an absolutely phenomenal day. You guys have an incredible day. We'll see you soon. Be blessed. We are out. Peace. This has been absolutely amazing.